Change everything I know. Better run ways when you smell that smoke. Better hold.
Trying to finish this last song for the next record. I'm very, very close to it. That's honestly all that I've been doing the past couple of days. I've been holed up in my studio, like working. Also, my internet keeps on cutting out, not just like my Wi-Fi, but specifically my Ethernet for my gaming computer. So I haven't been able to play games. So I have nothing to do but write music. Long story short, I've always loved music. I've been like playing music since I was 13. I loved watching like YouTube covers and all that sort of thing. I just fell in love with the guitar at a really young age. And I kind of soaked it up like a sponge. You know, I just would just like watch the covers, learn my chords really quick, and I would record myself, you know, with GarageBand and stuff, and I would just kind of learn from there, and it kind of just progressed into learning how to produce. When I was in college is when I really learned how to, you know, like produce music. But I wanted to go to music school, but my parents were, you know, against that idea. So I kind of floated my way into nursing school, and I was just like, yeah, you know, like this is whatever. And I didn't realize until I started working the job that it was just like not the job for me. So I absolutely hated working as a nurse. I would never do it ever again. I worked there for about like a year and a half until Keshi kind of was at a place where I felt comfortable, you know, changing my job and to being a full-time musician. Well, not entirely. It was written during that time, though. Skeletons, okay. That song in particular is kind of about that experience of like being tired of, you know, living two different sort of lives, you know, and thinking that I made the wrong choice and not being sure how to go about, you know, the rest of my life. Basically, I was really afraid of working as a nurse for the rest of my life and not being able to do what I was like really passionate about. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that lo-fi is like my quote-unquote musical genre. Lo-fi hip-hop was like an awesome sort of thing that happened like around when I was in college. I mean, it's not like it happened at that time. It just caught like a lot of popularity at that time. And it was great because it broke down the elements of production, like music production, into pieces that I could understand. Because when you're listening to pop music, everything is mixed so pristinely that you're focused pretty much only on the vocals, and everything else is like there to really support it. So you're not paying attention to like the drums or anything. You're just like, wow, this sounds really good. I don't know why. Well, lo-fi hip hop was made by people who, you know, didn't necessarily care about, you know, mixing things by the book. They wanted to make something that was actually kind of like a counter to it. But yeah, that's to answer your question, like how lo-fi hip hop is associated with Keshi. I started out in that sort of world because it made sense to me. And once I combined like my old songwriting from my acoustic guitar days with my lo-fi hip hop experience, production and everything, you get Keshi. I mean, the character Drake in Drake and Josh is a guitar player, and he plays in a band, and he's really popular with the girls, and it left a really strong impression on a young, like 12-year-old me. So I mean, I just wanted to be just like him. So I asked my mom for a guitar, and she said no. So I asked my grandpa at that point because I knew that he had guitars around the house, and he brought one to me one day, and after that I just kind of fell in love with it. So I took it home, and from then on, it was just like an adventure with me, my guitar, and the internet. And I just like studied the hell out of it. and now here we are. Yeah, I mean, More is definitely a very biographical sort of song. It was kind of about like my own personal relationship and how, you know, I've always wanted to write a song about this, about how I have to wrangle between like the most important person in my life and like my dreams that I've had since I was like a kid. You know, my dream, like having to choose between these two entities where like I can't live without either of them, but they inevitably sort of clash because they both demand, you know, a lot of attention and time. So that's kind of what More is about. Always is a song about taking someone for granted. It's a song about, you know, thinking that someone's always going to be there until one day they're not. And I think that we as people, as like human beings, we take things for granted a lot, and we don't really think about, you know, what would happen if someone just left one day. So that's what Always is about. Like the third EP with like Under Island, and I'm really excited for it because I feel like each song is just, I'm kind of pushing the boundaries of what I'm comfortable doing. And I think that's why I struggled writing these songs a little bit. Like I really kind of fought for them in my head because I really wanted to make sure that they sounded kind of different from anything that I've made before. I mean, there's definitely familiarity in some of the songs that I wrote, but there are a couple of songs on this record that are definitely like